Let's review some tips on how to keep your produce fresh for as long as possible. Looking at adding 2 to 3 days to the life of your fruits and vegetables helps you have a more flexible meal plan and get more bang for your buck when you go to the grocery store. The first method we're going to cover is called the flour method. You can use this for items like parsley, cilantro, asparagus, and celery. You'll wash your produce, give the ends a trim, and actually put it into water just like you would flowers in a vase. If you want to keep the leaves fresh, you can tent it with a baggie and pop it in the fridge. Otherwise, change the water every 2 days and you'll be set with fresher, crisper herbs and vegetables that you can pull from and use in the next couple days. For more delicate leaves, like this fresh basil from my garden, I'm going to wrap it in a damp paper towel, letting the ends stick out so they can breathe a bit. This damp paper towel will then be put into a baggie, which I'm not going to seal because we don't want to trap too much moisture inside. I'm going to use this method for basil, scallions, even fresh spinach. Those more delicate leaves that we don't want them to be too dried out, but we also don't want to expose them to too much moisture. With the hardier greens, even romaine, kale, chard, mustard greens, collard greens, you can wash, dry, and chop those well. Line your bowl with a baggie and cover it lightly, but you can, prepare cut greens ahead of time so that they're stashed in your fridge ready to use. I love doing this with kale because I can either make a fresh salad and eat it raw, or I can throw it into a soup and wilt it down, or I can put it directly into a pan and saute it until it's wilted there. With your more delicate fruits, like berries, or even your delicate vegetables like mushrooms, you don't want to wash these right away. The fruit will trap moisture, making that spoil quicker. Keep these ideally in a single layer, but otherwise kind of wiggle them around every couple days. Make sure you're moving them so they don't get those pockets where they trap and kind of spoil against one another. Wash them right before you are going to enjoy them, and then sit down and use them however you would in your dish or eat them fresh. We also can go over the vegetables that you could maybe cut ahead and freeze. When you look at your hardier vegetables, peppers, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, celery, like I said before, kale, you can chop these ahead of time and keep them on hand. One method I like to use is kind of make a party platter for yourself on a Sunday. Keep that in your fridge, and then you can pull from that all week to either eat fresh as a snack with maybe some hummus or a Greek yogurt dip, or you can toss them into a stir fry, into a salad, into an egg bake. So they really become versatile, but they're already cut and washed. One tactic I like to use for onions, if I don't use the whole onion like I did in this last dish I made, I could finish dicing this entire thing and put that diced onion in a baggie in the freezer. From there, you can sprinkle them into your dish the next time you need diced onion without having to get out your cutting board or your knife. And lastly, there are some produce items we want to let ripen on the counter, but then to slow that ripening down, you can put them in the fridge. It doesn't completely make the process foolproof, but it does make it better. With these peaches and these tomatoes, were garden fresh, but I picked them, waited until they're perfect, and then I put them in the fridge last night so that that process slows down. I also do this with avocado. Leave the avocado on your counter until it's ready in that perfect ripeness, then put it in the fridge, and it slows that process down. I hope some of these tips will help you kind of use produce a little bit more efficiently in your fridge. Buy yourself a couple days so that it all stays fresh just a little bit longer.